I've slept with a ton of women. Yes, I've slept with a ton of women. And I'm not satisfied. My heart is still very empty. And on top of all of that, I've made all these memories, temporary memories, and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. I'm not just a hit it and quit it type. I'm somebody who loves very deeply. I'm somebody who feels very deeply, very deeply. And so I built connections with these women that I've been intimate with, right? It got to the point where with some of these women, well, with a lot of them, we were talking almost every day. And then once the high wears down and we go back to our lives, sometimes I don't ever hear from these women again. And to this day, there's only a handful that I still communicate with. There were some that were a little more serious about me than I was about them. Others where I was more serious about them and they just wanted to get theirs and get gone. Then there were some, quite a few actually, where I left a path of destruction. Simply because the promise of love, the promise of romance, the promise of finding forever seemed so good, but it just wasn't a reality for me and that person because we were only meant to be in each other's lives for a season. I feel bad because the intimacy part, we could have been in each other's lives and did good for one another without being intimate together and crossing that line and now creating soul ties where we're subconsciously comparing the next person to this person. And because the heart is so heavy laden, now we don't even talk anymore. I used to pride myself on being somebody who can leave a situation better than I found it. But if all these women that I've been with have to take away from our experience is that he was just another dog, or he was just another temporary fling, what have I really done? Now, I will say that there have been several of these women, and I know because I check in on them. I do my snooping and I have my forms of being able to see what they're up to, have gone on to find great, long-lasting relationships immediately after me and them break up or stop seeing one another, whatever the case is. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they found that, right? But I can't congratulate them. I can't speak to them because I'm the bad guy in their story. And you know what's crazy about it? My ex of 3 years, when we broke up, she was the woman I loved the most at that time. I've never loved any woman the way I love that woman. And she's never loved any other man the way that she loved me, according to her. She told me that I broke her when I decided that we had to part ways. We had to part ways because she lived in another country and she was taking care of her parents who were alien. She couldn't move here and I couldn't move there. We tried to make it work as long as we could. I'd spend months over there in England. She'd spend months over here. But we hit a plateau. And I saw just how much her family struggled without her when she was here. And, there were some other factors about it. But ultimately, I ended up breaking things off. And because either you grow closer or you grow apart. She told me that out of everybody that I was the one that broke her. Right? Not because, oh, you were manipulative, oh, you were putting hands on me. No. Because I was good to her. Because I showed her what true love was, she showed me what true love was, and it still didn't work out. That's why I was the worst. And when I tell you it hurt my heart to hear that, I still mourn knowing that I put her through that kind of hurt. You see what I'm saying? At one point, I became an addict, an sex addict. I know this is like a therapy session, right? It's a free therapy session. So I appreciate y'all for listening. But I had gotten so far deep in my passion for wanting to be with someone and be with them, and that I lost sight of what true love really is. And that is the sacrifices that you make for your person. And so, ultimately, here I am, years later. She's found the love of her life. They're doing awesome. I'm happy for her. We don't have any contact. She speaks to everybody but me. But her story is one of many. I do not want to create a bunch of temporary experiences with people who are going to come and go. And I know you never really own anything in this world, and everything will come to an end eventually, but it's just the shackles of manhood and this need to gotta catch them all, and this need to, be with as many and have all these experiences. It's very shallow. It's very shallow. And I'm glad I'm realizing this early. I waited for a long time for the right one, and then went buck wild after waiting for so long. And here I sit. Don't be like me. Don't do it. And that's why I tell the fellas, man, it ain't worth it. Get you a good woman and sit down, okay? The grass is greenest where you water it. Yes. Now, objectification is fleeting. Getting your gratification, also fleeting. But these are people, not objects. These are memories being made. Sometimes they just want to smash. Hey, I've had situations like that too. But you find the high and you come down feeling lower sometimes, a lot of times. And if you get to the point you can't even talk to that person again, can't check in on them, see how they're doing, it's like, come on, what are we doing this for? At least that's how I look at it. That doesn't mean that I don't still struggle. That doesn't mean that I don't still have thoughts. I'm still human. I'm still a man. I still have wants, needs, and desires. But I'm thankful to say that today I know of many beautiful women that I'm just friends with. And I'm able to be in their presence. They're able to be in my company. And we're able to just have a good conversation, love one another without any kind of intimacy or anything like that. Just be good friends. Be good people. You're not meant to be with everyone like that. You're not meant to taste or sample everything, if you know what I mean. Because it changes things. SEX changes things. It changes the dynamics of friendships. It changes, relationships. It changes all of that. You ever heard of the saying, we can't be friends after that? Yeah, that's how it is for a lot of people. But I genuinely cared about these women. I cared about the welfare of these women. We just got caught up in the moment.